This is $10. For most of us, it's a fancy coffee, a quick lunch, or that streaming service we forgot we even had. We spend it without a second thought. But what if I told you that this same $10, saved every single day, could quietly become the key to a future you've only imagined? It sounds like a stretch, almost unrealistic. But the simple math you're about to hear proves that this tiny habit can grow into a serious amount of money, all because of one powerful force most people completely underestimate. Let's be honest for a moment. When you are dealing with bills, debt, and the rising cost of everything, trying to save $10 can feel pointless. Millions of people feel this way. Our brains are wired for the present moment. That coffee gives instant comfort. That takeout saves time tonight. The future feels distant, abstract, and easy to ignore. So we tell ourselves, it's just $10. It won't matter. And we move on. We assume real wealth requires a massive salary, risky investments, or a lucky break. The idea that spare change could be a real strategy sounds like a fairy tale. But this mindset is the biggest wall between most people and financial freedom. It's not about how much money you make. It's about how you see money. Most people see a $10 bill as just $10. Financially successful people see what it can become. Once you adopt that perspective, everything changes. Imagine stripping money down to its simplest form. No investing, no interest, no stock market, just consistency. $10 a day. It doesn't sound impressive. But after 1 week, that's $70. After 1 month, about $300. After 1 year, it becomes $3,650. That's a vacation, a new laptop, or a solid emergency fund. Stretch that habit over 10 years, and suddenly you're looking at $36,500, created entirely from something you once thought was meaningless. In many places, that's a down payment on a home. That's life-changing money. And this is still the worst-case scenario, with the money doing absolutely nothing but sitting there. Now introduce the force that changes everything. There is a quote often linked to Albert Einstein, calling compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. Whether he actually said it or not, the truth behind it is undeniable. Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest investors in history, has openly said that time and compounding are the real secrets behind his fortune. Think of compound interest like a snowball rolling down a long hill. At first, it's small, but as it rolls, it picks up more snow. As it grows larger, it gathers even more snow with every turn. Eventually, that tiny snowball becomes an avalanche. That's how money grows when compounding is allowed to work over time. In the first year, your money earns returns. In the second year, it earns returns on both the original money and the returns from the first year. That cycle repeats over and over, accelerating as time passes. A simple way to understand this is the rule of 72. Divide 72 by your annual return, and you'll know roughly how long it takes your money to double. At 7%, it doubles in about 10 years. At 10%, it doubles in just over 7 years. Time does the heavy lifting. Now picture two people, both 25 years old. One starts today. The other plans to start later. Consistent Chloe decides to save $10 every day. That's about $300 a month. She invests it in a simple S&P 500 index fund, which has historically averaged around a 10% annual return before inflation. Liam watches her and thinks it's a good idea, but tells himself he'll start when he's older and earning more. 10 years pass. Chloe is now 35. She has invested $36,500 of her own money. But thanks to compounding, her account has grown to more than $63,000. She nearly doubled her money without increasing her effort. At this point, Liam finally starts. Feeling behind, he invests double $20 a day, $600 a month. Fast forward another 20 years. Chloe now 55, has personally contributed a total of $109,500 over 30 years. Her account, however, has grown to roughly $660,000. Most of that money didn't come from her pocket. It came from time. Liam invested more of his own money, $144,000, over 20 years. But because he started 10 years later, his final balance is only around $458,000. Chloe invested less and ended up with over $200,000 more. The difference wasn't income. It wasn't intelligence. It was time. Even if investing feels uncomfortable, the principle still holds. Put that $10 a day into a high-yield savings account, earning 4%. And after 30 years, it still grows to more than $210,000. Choose a conservative investment, earning 7%, and it becomes around $368,000. Different paths, same truth. Consistency builds wealth. The return rate just determines how fast. At this point, the math is clear. The real question becomes, where does the $10 come from? And for most people, it's hiding in plain sight. One fewer coffee shop visit, canceling subscriptions you don't use, packing lunch a few times a week, choosing store brands instead of name brands. Small decisions that don't feel painful, but quietly redirect money toward your future. The most powerful move of all is automation. Treat saving like a bill you must pay. Set it up so the money moves automatically before you ever see it. Willpower fades. Systems don't. So we come back to the original question. What if the $10 you spend without thinking could actually change your life? Now you know the answer. This isn't motivation. It's math. Saving $10 a day isn't insignificant. It builds discipline, turns time into your greatest ally, and unleashes compound growth, the quiet force behind real wealth. The difference between people who build wealth and people who don't isn't luck. It's starting. You don't need a raise. You don't need perfect timing. You just need to begin. Because the path to financial freedom doesn't start with a jackpot. It starts with the next $10 you touch.